Compass FM, North Canterbury's community radio station. About this time every Thursday morning we have a bit of a chat to the North Canterbury's local newspaper too. Managing Editor Robyn Bristow from North Canterbury News. Good morning, Robyn. How's it all going for you at this particular stage?
Oh, brilliant. And today is a little bit cooler, so we might all be able to keep our heads straight. It just got a little bit overbearing, didn't it?
Did Amanda start throwing her weight around yesterday? We can't have that.
No, she just got quieter and quieter as it got hotter and hotter.
As we all do.
It was raining as I left home this morning, so may it continue.
Absolutely. There is a bit of a story that we need to have a bit of a chat about in regards to the blaze and other bits and pieces. But let's have a look at the main page on issue 930 North Canterbury News. There's a mouse rod at the Muscle Car Madness last weekend. It's a great photo. Did Shelley take that?
Shelley took that photo, and it's just a sort of a snapshot of the whole 2 days of the show, although the town was sort of overtaken by all the muscle cars for several days outside of that, and just huge, and once again very, very popular. And so the wee mouse rod's there, and apparently this guy just built it so kids could enjoy, so that they could get in it and sit in it, and it's just cute.
It's a fantastic photo. It really is. So we move on from that to a story about is there a bit of a mixed reaction to a new school? David put the story together.
He did indeed. He followed up on Matt Ducey's column of last week, where he was suggesting the time might be right to look at at least acquiring some land out sort of Ravenswood, Pegasus, Wood End way for a new high school. But it's had a pretty mixed reaction from principals that David's managed to catch up with, and others, and the ministry. And it's certainly not going to be on the drawing board anytime soon. And the schools are quite confident that they've got space to grow, and they have plans in place. And so for now, it sort of would appear to be on the back burner. But I kind of agree a little bit with Matt that why not grab a bit of land? I mean, even if it has to be sold in the future, if it's not needed.
Future proofing is always a good idea. That's
particularly in perhaps even Ravenswood, which is just being developed. We know that land pretty scarce for housing and all the rest of it, so it wouldn't be a bad idea. So anyway, there's a good wee read there from the various schools.
On page 2, looking at a rates rise of 3.9%, Jim Palmer, the CEO of the Waimakiriri District Council, reckons, hey, why don't we just raise the rates 4% and then leave the job? Jim, what are you doing here? What's the story all about?
Yeah, no, it's one of those very challenging tasks that the Waimak District Council has in front of it. They're looking at their long-term plan, and it will be Jim's last. But Jeff Millwood, who is the Finance and Business Support Manager, has said it's the most difficult draft plan that he's ever had to write, simply because of what's been before with COVID. And at the minute, it's 3.9% being proposed, but, when they get down to the business of cutting out what they can't afford and trying to meet the wishes of people that want things, it'll be interesting to see where that figure actually ends up. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, Jim Palmer, lovely guy, and I'm only pulling your leg, Jim. Really, truly, I'm only doing it.
We are going to miss Jim. It's been part of the town for a long, long time.
And then the other Jim arrives in March, and you'll probably have a story about him. We'll be interviewing him as well,
Indeed.
And welcome him into the one of the best districts in New Zealand, if not the best district. Page 3. You've got a story here about this blaze, how it just took off Pines Beach.
Yes. We spoke to a resident there, Nikki, who lived just across the road from where the fire began, and she just was blown away at how quickly this fire just took off, and she just saw these flames just jump roads. She said it was just unbelievable how quickly it moved, and how brutal Mother Nature is. So a wee story there from Nikki, and the fact that it's now sort of been brought under control, thank goodness, and how amazed she was at how efficiently the emergency services all got together and just worked so well, evacuating her little street. I think she was one of about 5 houses that were evacuated, although I think several others might have taken off out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we're just lucky that we do have such an efficient fire service and police police service and all those volunteers that help keep people safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Big ups to the fire and emergency and all other volunteers around North Canterbury as well. Is there another story that you wanted to mention, Robyn?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention the Glenmark Church, St Paul's Anglican Church, that stood pretty forlornly up there on the hill at Glenmark for a decade because of the earthquakes that battered it, and they haven't been able to use it well. At last, a restoration's underway, and that's thanks to a pretty small group of people that have worked so hard to raise funds to get that. They've got 1-something million in hand already, and they're still fundraising flat out too. Beautiful, the beautiful big red brick church that you see from the main road. So that is so cool. So restoration work has begun, and the contractors, RPC Construction, have moved in and started sort of putting up fencing and all the rest of it. So keep your eye on that as it goes. And just another wee thing I'd like to raise, I put up a story on our website last night that the toxic algae has been detected at the Ashley Loburn Bridge up here and on Cones Road. So people, please don't go swimming there and do not take your dogs.
Absolutely.
Or any other pets there.
Wonderful. Yeah. Robyn Bristow, Managing Editor of North Canterbury News, and we'll do it again next Thursday at about the same time. What do you reckon?
Will do. Thanks a lot.
Good on you. No worries. It is 9 minutes to 9 on your community radio station, North Canterbury. We call ourselves Compass FM on two frequencies, 104.9 and 103.7.